Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Introduce myself. My name is Salsabila. I am from PBIA class. This video is about the material of phonetic. Then I will explain it one by one and give the example if necessary. Phonetics is a part of science in linguistics that studies or investigates the sounds of language produced by humans without saying the sounds function as a differentiator of meaning in a language. The science of phonetics investigates sound from the point of view of speech or speech. According to Krida Laksana, phonology is a science that belongs to the linguistic level, which investigates language sounds according to their function. Speech organs are articulations that are used to produce language sounds. They include the lips, teeth, alveolar range, hard palate, volume or soft palate, uvula, glottis, and various parts of the tongue. Example: tip, middle, and back part. In phonetic learning, the articulator is usually drawn with a diagram of the human head in a sideways position. Speech production describes how articulation works to produce the speech sound, which is started from flowing the air provided by the lung. The air then goes through the glottis in the larynx, that then is modified by the vocal tract, oral cavity, or vocal apparatus, or nasal cavity. Into different qualities, the sounds, example consonant and vowels. Many students from Indonesia have difficulty learning English, especially difficulties in pronouncing English sounds. Of course, this results in Indonesian students experiencing difficulties in achieving their goals, namely the goals they will achieve in learning English, namely improving their skill English. To achieve these goals, students must master the basics of English such as pronunciation, vocabulary, grammar, coherence, fluency, as well as comprehensibility, which is where the sound is consonant and vowels. For the example, in producing sound V, in the word clever is pronounced clever, but learns V in medial position. There are 12 problems in producing vowel sounds, namely, firstly, the problem in producing sound E. For the example, can be seen in the word examine. In English, the word should be pronounced examine, but the learners replace sound E with sound E, which results in examine. The second, the problem in producing sound E. For the example, can be seen in the word this. In English, this word should be pronounced this, but the learners pronounce it this. The third, the problem in producing sound E. For the example, is found in the pronunciation of the word general, in which the learners tend to pronounce it as general instead of general as the correct one. The fourth, the problem in producing sound U. For the example, can be found as the learners pronounce the word look. They tend to pronounce it as look instead of look. The next, the problem in producing sound E. For example, can be found in the word world. In English, this word should be pronounced world, but the learners tend to pronounce it as word. Problem about exchanging sound A and O. For the example, in articulating the word knowledge, the learners commonly pronounce it as knowledge instead of knowledge. Next, the problem in pronouncing sound A. For the example, in the word produce, sometimes incorrectly pronounced as produce instead of produce. Next, the problem in producing diphthong I. For the example, the learners replace diphthong I with I, as in the word identify. In English, this word should be pronounced identify, but the learners tend to pronounce it as identify. Next, the problem in producing diphthong A. For the example, as the learners are required to pronounce the word make, they do not pronounce it as make, but this word is pronounced make by the learners. Next, the problem in producing diphthong E. For the example can be found as the learners are required to pronounce the word obvious. In English, this word is pronounced obvious, but is then pronounced obvious by the learners. So the problem in producing diphthong O. For the example is in the word spoken. In English, it ought to be pronounced spoken, but the learners tend to pronounce it spoken. Phonetics can be defined as a study of language sounds. Its formation is frequency as air vibrations, and the mode of reception by ear. Based on the process of occurring the sounds of the language, phonetics are divided into three types, namely articulatory phonetics, and the second acoustic phonetics, and the third auditory phonetics. Therefore, based on this theory, we can see that phonetics still helps in pronouncing a language or in producing speech sounds. When we speak, of course, we will produce a sound. This sound is called the sound of speech. The speech sound is certainly different from the sound when we spell a sentence. The speech sounds is a sound that we hear when someone pronounces a sentence. Bilabial sound P, B, M. Consonant sound which are produced by putting two lips together as in sound B in the word by, P in the word pie, and M in the word my. Labiodental sound V and V. Consonant sounds which are produced by contracting the lower lip and upper teeth as in sound F in the word 5 and V in the word villa. Dental sound the with or the. These consonant sounds are made when tongue for sound or tongue blade are just behind the tip. For sound the contacts upper teeth as in the chew the sounds. Sound the as in the word Thursday and sound the as in the word this. Then alveolar sound T, D, and E, S, Z. The consonant sounds are made when the tongue tip contacts the alveolar ridge, the gums just behind the teeth, as sound T in the word tie, sound D in the word die, sound N is in the word night, or E is in the word lie. Or tongue blade contacts the palatal sound. These sounds are produced when the blade of the tongue, middle of the tongue, touch the hard palate. Palatal sound G with G. The sounds are produced when the blade of the tongue, middle of the tongue, touch the hard palate. Sound G as the word judge, sound G as in the word chew, and the sound G as in the word young. Palatal alveolar sounds Sh, E, R. These sounds are articulated when the blade of the tongue approach or touch the alveolar ridge and the main body of the tongue approach the hard palate in the mouth. Example sound is she as in the word sheep, in which the tip of the tongue is used. Velar sound ki, gi, and ing. These consonant sounds are produced when the back of the tongue touches the soft palate, the velum, as sound K as the word cup, sound K is the word cape, and sound ing is in the word sing. Glottal sound this consonant sound is produced when the flow of air is stopped by the glottis with some construction of the glottis closing, and then released. Example sound ha as in the word how and who. Labiovelar sound way. This consonant sound is produced when the back part of the tongue contacts the soft palate and lips else come close to each other. Example sound way as in the word what. stop or plosives. This manner of articulation, consonant sounds are produced by closing the speech organs, both oral and nasal cavity, that the air stream is blocked. It results air pressure in the oral cavity. When the air pressure is suddenly released, aspiration will then occur. The English consonant sounds produced through this manner of articulation are P as in the word pen, T as in the word tie. Firstly, fricativus. This type of manner of articulation produces consonant sounds by blocking the air stream in the mouth but not making complete closure. A complete closure belongs to a stop, that the air moves through the mouth and produce audible friction. Example S in the word cycle, Z and S in the word zoom, and F is in the word fun. Secondly, the second affricatives. The manner of articulation produce consonant sounds by blocking the eye stream briefly with the tongue in the mouth, but in the contrast to stop. The blocked eye stream is suddenly not released, but is slowly released and causes audible friction. Example sound chi as in the word check and chi as in the word jump. The third, nasals. This manner of articulation produces consonant sounds by blocking the air stream pass through the oral cavity using the velum, soft palate, and the back of the tongue, so that the air can only pass through the nasal cavity. Example sounds M in this S in the word man, and is in the word night, and ing as in the word sing. So the fourth, laterals or liquid. This manner of articulation produces consonant sound by contracting the tip of the tongue into the alveolar ridge so that the air passes through both sides of the tongue. Example sounds E as in the word lip. And the fifth, approximates or glides. This type of manner of articulation deals with the way consonant sounds are uttered by making the articulators interact. Example, the tongue and the alveolar ridge without actually touching. In English, there are three approximates. Example sound G as in the word you, sound W as in the word word, as and sound R as in the word rise. Distinctive features in consonant sound is when two different letters are generated in the same place as when we want to pronounce B and P. To distinguish the two sounds, the distinguishing feature used to identify sound difference by knowing whether the vocal cords vibrate when a consonant sound is made, voiced, or whether the vocal cords do not vibrate when a consonant sound is pronounced or without sound. Distinguishing the two sounds in this material, a distinguishing feature used to identify sound difference by knowing whether the vocal cords vibrate when a consonant sound is made or voiced, or whether the vocal cords do not vibrate when a consonant sound is pronounced or without sound. To test the sound quality of the consonant sound, then learners can place their finger on the ballot box. Example, the Adam's apple inside upper throat. This is done to find out whether the vocal cords vibrate or not at particular times a consonant sound is made. For example, in distinguishing sound P and B, students produce shame P while placing their finger on the ballot box. They shouldn't feel the vibration. Characteristic of consonant pairs is that they are produced in the same place, and to distinguish the two consonant sounds is to feel whether the vocal cords produce vibrations when we pronounce the letter or not. The types of English consonant sounds from the perspective of place, manner of articulation. The learners then need to know how to use them to pronounce consonant letters in English words. This is important because in English, a consonant letter usually represents one consonant sound, but some consonant letters, for example, C, G, S, may represent two different consonant sounds. The following table gives information about English consonant letters and the representation of their consonant sounds, which is able to help the learners pronounce English word correctly. Help them pronounce English properly and correctly and produce an accurate pronunciation, then they can improve their language. Be focused on making the required consonant sound. Think how to make the required consonant sound as instructed in the place of articulation and manner of articulation before making the sound. Produce the required sound slowly and accurately. When you get accustomed to making the sound accurately, then you can produce the sound fluently. Bilabial stop sound P, peel, piece, pear, pick, pin, pain, pair, pack, palm, part. Voice bilabial stop sound B, beat, beer, big, beat, best, bad, bear, bad, bag. Voiceless alveolar stop sound T, team, tip, tell, ten, task, tar, tal, turn, talk, top. Voiceless alveolar stop sound D, deep, deal, dear, deep, then, there, then, dark, door, dog. Voiceless velar stop sound K, kin, keep, kill, kiss, can, chemistry, can, keep, calm, car. Voice velar stop sound G, give, gift, get, guess, guess, gape, guard, gorge, George, gone, goose. Voiceless labiodental fricative sound F, feel, feed, fear, fit, finish, feel, fit, fair, fast, far. Voice labiodental fricative sound V, will, vivid, vet, very, variant, vast, volt, verb, vain, vagu. Voiceless dental fricative sound E, theme, thief, theater, theory, thin, thick, thing, therapy, thing. Voice dental fricative sound G, this, then, them, their, that, then, they. Voiceless alveolar fricative sound S, sim, sin, sin, simple, city, sen, center, set, sec, saw. Voice alveolar fricative sound Z, zebra, zero, zit, zigzag, zest, zep, zoo, zoom, zone, zebra. Voiceless palatal alveolar fricative sound she, sheep, shear, chick, sheep, sheet, share, campaign, short, shoot. Voice palatal alveolar fricative sound Z, usual, casual, visual, vision, explosion, erosion, measure, pleasure, treasure, leisure. Voiceless glottal fricative sound H, he, had, here, him, history, help, hair, hand, have, half. Voiceless palatal fricative sound cheap, cheese, cheap, chair, cheap, chin, check, cheese, chair, change, chapter. Voiceless palatal fricative sound sheep, jeans, jeep, gym, jean, gym, jet, general, gentle, jam, jazz. Voice bilabial nasal sound M, me, mean, mere, middle, mean, man, mark, more. mommy. Voice alveolar nasal N, need, knee, never, nap, nasty, normal, not, noon, new. Voice velar nasal sound ing, sing, singer, singing, sang, sung, hang, hanger, hanging, hang, lang. Voice alveolar lateral sound I, lead, lip, live, live, let, less, leg, last, lark, low, lord. Voice palatal alveolar approximant sound read, rip, real, rear, wrist, wrist, read, rest, rare, ran. Voice labiovelar approximant sound we, weak, will, wine, will, with, west, when, where, wax. Voice palatal approximant sound she, year, yield, yes, yesterday, yellow, yet, yard, yawn, york, yak. Phonetics is very important in learning English because with phonetics we can improve the quality of our language, especially pronunciation. As we saw in the material above, it has been explained how a sound is produced and how to produce that sound. And with this knowledge we can improve our pronunciation in English. English teachers and students must at least master in this knowledge of phonetics. It will be very futile when we only study grammar and vocabulary with studying phonetics, which is the study of the sound of a word in English and the articulation used to produce these sounds. And do not forget to thank God who has given me health, and to family, friends, and relatives and other great people who have helped me cheer me up when I was getting tired and wanted to give up making videos. Once again, I would like to thank the supporters because it's with your support that I can be excited again to make videos. Maybe until here my explanation, I apologize for the mistakes, and last I say wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.